Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to recognize last layer center cases. I think it's very important as a Skewb solver to know what all 5 centers are doing in each permutation case. So let's get started. First, we've got this case called Z-perm conjugate, and what I recognize is there's a non-U center solved, and then there's 2 swaps, and that's it. And there's no, all these pieces are like adjacent. There's no opposite colors. This needs to go here, which is adjacent. This needs to go here, which is adjacent. Then there's another similar one, but the U center swap is on the other side, like this. There's 2 swaps and a solved one. And then there's this triple sledge case where there's two swaps, the same thing, except these are opposite. There's this one solved in the back. And then there is U-perm, where the U center is solved, and then there's a 3 cycle of centers and 1 solved. Then there's Z-perm, where U center is solved. Then there's 2 swaps that are adjacent swaps. Then there's H-perm, which is U center solved, and then 2 opposite swaps. Then there's the O-perms, which are 2 non-U centers solved, and then either a 3 cycle clockwise or counterclockwise. This is the clockwise one. And then there's the counterclockwise one, which pretty similar. Just go this one. They need to go in a counterclockwise direction. Then there is the Watt perm, which I recognize by U center's not solved, and there's 1 opposite center only. And then for the rest of the 3 centers, what's going on there? I recognize that the 2 that are not vertical, I kind of imagine a rift here, like a little split, and they need that spreads outwards. So it starts here and then goes out. This blue center goes out here. This orange center goes out here. That's where they need to go. And then this top center, I always recognize that it needs, if I start where the U center is and then I follow to the top center, it needs to go opposite of the U center. And that's how I recognize the Watt perm. Now there's 2 Watt perms. There's also the one where the opposite's on the other side, and that just means the rift's over here, and they go out, and the green needs to go here, and the red needs to go here, and the one on top needs to go opposite of the U center. So next we have the X perms. So what I recognize the X perms is they've got 2 opposite centers, and U center's not solved. And then for the other 2 centers, what I recognize is that the one that's not at the U spot, not one that's not on top, that just needs to go away. It needs to go to adjacent spot away from the U, where the U center's at. And then the one on top, it needs to go to the, so for this one, it needs to go away from the U center. And then if I just kept going, that's the one where the top needs to go. So basically the one opposite of this one is where the U center needs to go. I just kind of imagine that, yeah, this one goes here and this one goes here. Yeah. And then the other ones recognize pretty similarly. It's just opposites are over here, and then the U center this one needs to go away from the U center, and then this one goes over here. And lastly, we have the swirl perms. So the swirl perms are recognized by having no opposite centers, nothing that needs to go to the opposite spot. And I kind of imagine a line starting at the top, and then it goes, this one either needs to go in this side or this side. This case is this side, and then it'll just go this way, and then it'll travel in a line all the way back to the U center. That if you just follow where they need to go. And then the other one, it's just the other way. Instead of going this way, this top one needs to go over here, and then the line goes this way.